Hi everyone, welcome to yet another episode of BNI Pioneer Stories. It's a new initiative by the BNI Pioneers LT team in association with Finch Studios and the Podcaster platform, where we try to bring in industry veterans, community leaders, and also pioneer members to share their inspiring stories with us all. And for today, we have yet another guest who is an industry veteran, a community leader. He was a gold medalist in school and college. And then now he is leading one of the most respected car rental companies in Qatar since the past couple of years. And he is also an active member of KBF and MSS. And also, he was the past president of one of the largest alumni associations in Qatar, MES Alumni. So with that short introduction, let me welcome Mr. Fasil Hamid. Fasil Hamid, please welcome to BNI Pioneer Stories podcast. So yes, Mr. Fasil, how do you feel about joining this podcast?
First of all, thank you, Jitin, for giving the opportunity to be on the BNI Pioneers podcast series. It's obviously wonderful to be here.
Yeah. Once again, it's our privilege. Thank you so much. I know you had a very busy day today, but even then, finding time for this, and it's mainly because you wanted to share your experience, your stories from your life with the younger audience or the younger entrepreneurs who will definitely feel motivated to do and learn more from your experiences. So, can I pick your brains for like half an hour, ask you a few questions?
Sure.
So that everyone can benefit,
Yeah.
So, okay. So now you're leading one of the most respected, maybe the first car rental company in Qatar, Al Mufta Rent a Car.
No, it is the first car rental company.
It's not maybe.
Not
it
maybe.
Is.
It is first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is first. Yeah.
Okay. So can you tell me more about how Al Mufta Rent a Car started and the story behind it?
So Al Mufta was it was established 1971.
Okay.
But the story goes back 10 years before that. So it was co-founded by Mr. Abdurrahman Mufta, Mr. KP Abdul Hamid, who was my father, who is my late father, and Mr. A.K. Usman, who is also my uncle. So 1961, my uncle, Mr. Usman, comes to Doha, and after 5 years, my father comes to Doha. Obviously those days, as you know, they came by ships. Okay. And at that time, the population of Qatar was probably around 30,000 people. Hardly any cars on Qatar's roads. Probably even roads are not properly built at that time. And they used to work for Jeddah. Mm-hmm. And there was only few dealerships back then. We don't have all these Japanese names back then. So we had some big American car names, and Jeddah used to be one of them. We used to deal with those cars. And my father was secretary to Jasim Jeddah, who was the chairman of Jeddah Group. He passed away a few months back. Okay. And my uncle was working in the spare parts division. So they used to, meet a lot of Qataris over there, and they lot of also the people who used to come from abroad. So they used to inquire with them for rent a car. So they thought, this has some potential, and they started renting their own personal cars while they were working in Jeddah.
So you mean there was no rent a car back then?
No rent a car.
You're saying in 1960s?
This was late 1960s.
Okay.
So there was no rent a cars. There was a company which came, and they were looking for cars for rent. They were working on Dukan oil field project. And so, again, those days there was no Ras Lafan. Dukan was the place where they first found oil. Mm-hmm. And this company wanted cars. So, my father and my uncle, they decided to rent their personal cars as a side income, side hustle.
So they already had their own cars?
My uncle, I think he bought his first car for 100 riyals. I don't know which brand it was, but for 100 riyals, he bought his first car back in 1960s.
Okay.
And he rented that out, and then they started coming back for more. Mm-hmm. So then they kind of had a deal. They did a deal, I think, with another group. I think it was Talib Group. Took some cars from them, rented again to this company. Like that, they got busier with the car rental activities. Then they thought, okay, now let's leave our day job. Let's take this up full time. And 71, they established the company with Mr. Abdurrahman Mufta, the first rent-a-car company in Qatar. And it was the only rent-a-car company for a long period. I think the next rent-a-car company came after 8 years.
Okay.
So it was a monopoly for almost 8 years. So this is how, in short, the company came into existence in 71.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. That's wonderful because see, I've always thought if you can enter a market, then you get something called an early mover advantage, right? So in your case, you had a monopoly for about 8 years. I remember the other day, like I went to an office and they were saying Qatar Foam factory, and they were saying they were the only foam factory, and they had a monopoly for about 8 years or 9 years. So this is amazing to know that your company was the first car rental company in Qatar. So see, this is exactly what we try to bring to this podcast. So legacy companies who can share such stories. You shared something like at those times the population was only 30,000. I was, like I was stunned because I didn't know it was that small a population back then. And then your father or your uncle bought a car for 100 reals. That is also we cannot now we cannot think of such a scenario, right? So these are all legacy stories which help us actually connect with our history to understand how Qatar was during those times, and then how it have actually transitioned to the Qatar that we know now.
Yeah, because 60s, 50s Qatar found oil. 60s, the probably first Indians started coming into Qatar. You can say, I think among the expatriate communities, it was Indians who started probably coming from the Asian side more. And I think the real kind of boom started happening from the 70s onwards. And then that's when more and more people started knowing about Qatar and like the activities at the oil and gas field, infrastructure wise, everything kind of changed. And there was more interest. And then I think 80s was a time like we can see a lot of the kind of the old established businesses in Qatar. Most of them had come in the established in the 80s phase. And obviously now Qatar is now in a different league.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, so your parent, I mean, sorry, your dad and your uncle, they were in business from 1971,
Yes,
and
yes.
then I know you are a qualified chartered accountant, uh, and you were working in UK. So, what made you actually? Was it your plan from the beginning to join the family business, or you wanted to be a professional working in a different field? So, how
Actually,
was it?
my plan was when I was in ninth, I thought I wanted to, because I used to see the the QP or QGPC employees, the life in Said. They used to have their clubhouse, and this was all the facilities and stuff. And I was mesmerized by that. So I thought like I like to be an engineer, and maybe probably a chemical engineer, go into the oil and gas field, something like that. So ninth and tenth, I was kind of mentally prepared for that. And at somewhere, some kind of switch turned on, and I was like, no, I want to go into commerce. I want to go into business, and that's when I went into I took up commerce stream, and then I went into UK. I went to UK, did my bachelor's in accounting and management, then worked with PwC for 3.5 years, 4 years, and then trained chartered accountant. But the calling was always to come back to Doha. I could have stayed back. I had a contract left with PwC. Could have stayed with them for another 3 more years, but I decided no, I'll come back to. I left my British passport.
So you mean if you stayed longer for a couple more years, you would have got British passport,
Yeah,
right?
so I could have stayed another 2 years and could have got the British passport. But again, one, I was not mesmerized by the British passport. I always want to retain my Indian passport, Indian identity. And secondly, I was in a hurry probably to come back to Doha and join the family business, because that has been my calling uh, ever since I left probably Qatar for my graduation in UK. So yeah, so 2009 was the year. 2009 was the year I came back to Doha and joined. So it's been almost 17 years.
17 years
17 years.
managing business. Okay. So all this time, your cousin is also involved in the business,
Yes.
right? So you are
So
managing it with him,
yeah,
right?
so Ziad Usman
Okay.
is my cousin, and so he's son of A.K. Usman,
Okay.
the co-founder. So both of us, now the second generation, you can say, we are the ones who are managing the business. So we've been trained under our able fathers to take over the business, and like most, I mean, uncle is still involved. Usman uncle is still involved, and he, obviously we have his guidance from time to time, but actively operational side, we both are taking care of things.
Okay. No, it's commendable. Inshallah, let it go on for many more years,
Inshallah.
because even in family businesses, to get it together, to run it together, it's a bit of a challenge. But good to know that you guys are doing it well. But people have a perception that if you're a second generation entrepreneur, you have it easy. Was it easy, or what do you feel as a second generation entrepreneur? What are the challenges? Or in BNI, we have one of the core values is traditions plus innovations, right? So it tradition was already there, the legacy was already there. So what was the innovation that you could bring to Al Mufta when you joined?
See, when you talk about second generation businessmen, obviously the most difficult part is probably establishing the brand, the foundation, and the struggle towards that. And that part, we have heard the stories of how my father and my uncle, and along with the Qatari partner, the difficult years they had in the initial phases to get the business up and running, capture the market and get the brand known to people. So that is the hardest part, obviously, which is done for us, and so in a way that has been given on a plate to us. But if you see, Jitin, and also from your business also, that the last 20-25 years in Qatar, since 2006, you can say, Qatar has been on the map since Asian Games.
Yeah.
And we've got a huge influx of companies coming from our neighboring countries or aspiring entrepreneurs coming and setting up businesses. Back in the day, very few, people had the entrepreneur spirit. But now the generations have changed. Everyone is, even if they're having a full-time day job, they have a part-time entrepreneurial kind of activity going on. So obviously, with that brings immense competition into the scene as well. So one being, keeping the company relevant, keeping the company on the forefront, keeping the goodwill alive in the market for 55 years now. It takes a lot of effort from our side as well. So what we work towards is to ensure that the brand is intact, the goodwill is intact, the name which has been built for the last 55 years, that is intact. And for that, obviously, we have to go with the time, with the changes in the market, with the changes in the technology, and ensure that, because customers now are more sensitive, you can say, because they've been pampered. Like even we as customer, we have got everything easy on our fingertips. So we are, even our customers are in the same way. So we have tried to make things as much easy as possible for them, reduce the kind of headache which they have with the car rental kind of activity. So most of our businesses, you can say, we have is B2B. We lease to companies on for long-term basis for their project requirements, you can say. So we've opened offices in Al Khor just because we have a lot of clients who are in the oil and gas sector to service them. So we have mobile service van which go to the to the clients and do the service for them. We opened last year. We opened a service center in Tumama just for quick service for our customers within Doha, because they don't have to go to our, we don't have to take our cars to garage, so we can turn around the cars more faster. So these kind of back-end activities we've been doing continuously to strengthen the car rental operations, and this is an ongoing process. And this we have to keep on innovating. You can say keep on improving our back-end, keep on improving our technology, our ERP systems to make things more smoother, faster for the customers.
So basically, what you've done is you have used your education, and together with your cousin, you have identified the pain points of the customer, and then you have continuously innovated or actually tried to solve those pain points. I asked you this specific question because I've seen second generation entrepreneurs, or actually maybe studied in the UK. They come into businesses and take over. I've seen multiple businesses fail because they try to bring in what they learned, and then they try to implement in a traditional system, and then that integration doesn't happen. So in your case, it have actually helped to grow the business better. So I believe there is a set of value system that your father and your uncle have already instilled in Al Mufta. So can you share with us those values? Like in BNI, we have core values. Like I'm very sure Al Mufta has those values in place, because only then a new set of the younger generation come in, and then they can seamlessly integrate into the system. So can you share with us, please?
There's a saying in English, do not shake the apple tree. Do not try to bring so much changes altogether. Things have to happen in an organic manner, which is one thing which we have ensured that what we do in a company, things are done in a organic manner, in a probably in a manner which is the company's employees are also able to absorb. Also, we are not taking huge risks with the market we are in. And in terms of values, see, one thing, we are in the service industry. One thing which we have been taught is put the customer and service at the topmost, friendmost point. I mean, that should be, like we have always learned, customer is always right, and we've ensured that customer service is unparalleled. So this is something which we've been, at the customer service point, we have been always trying to make sure that there's no pain points, like we said before. Also, from a management point of view, we've been taught, to take care of our staff, our employees, and we have, myself and Ziad, we have an open door policy. Even though we have an HR department, all our employees, they're welcome to any time come into our desks and into our cabins, speak about their issues, speak about their problems, speak about, if because all of us, most of us are expatriates. Most of our staff have left their families back home and they have come to work for us. So, I mean, obviously they will, as expatriate, we always are juggling a lot of issues. So whatever we as a company can do to help them, and that's probably one of the reasons where we have one of the best, like I don't know about, can't compare to others, but because I don't have data, but we know that we have one of the best retention rates within our staff, because we have staffs who have been there with us even before I was born. He's still he's working with us as a, for example, one of the drivers. He's been working with us since 1981. He's now taking my kids to school. So he's took me to school. So we have such staff still working for us, and that is probably the it's not probably because of the salary which we have been paying, because mostly sometimes people stay in a place not because they get paid the most salary. It's about how you take care of them, how you treat them, the rest. And this is something which has come down to us from our parents. We have seen, how they have been dealing with other staff, and also in terms of, they have been very hardworking. They have been very systematic. They've been very dedicated. We don't see them idling away or wasting away time. And this is something which again we try to do as well. Probably we are not. I don't know if we can match their qualities, but we try to emulate, and we try to as much as learn and implement whatever things they have passed on to us.
Okay, so you mentioned about taking care of your customers and also your people, right? So this is very important. Can you tell me what other companies that you have under Al Mufta right now that you manage? Is it just Rent-A-Car,
Yeah.
or you
So
mentioned about Quick Service Center and yeah? So what else do you have?
we are part of also larger group. So
Okay,
Al Mufta
yeah.
group has probably 40 plus companies under them. Is grown tremendously over the group has grown tremendously in the last 60 years. Our chairman, Mr. Abdurrahman Mufta, he's been featured in the Forbes magazine as well. So one thing which helps us also in the market is the legacy of the group as well. So the name, definitely gives us a lot of, doors open because of the name
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well. And what we take care of as a management under Rent-A-Car services, we have real estate division, we have quick service center, and we have an automobile workshop. These are the things which is under Rent-A-Car services, which is the holding company for us.
Okay, these are the companies that you manage.
Me and Ziad,
Ziad, you
we are,
both manage.
we are
Okay.
managing,
So
yes.
how many employees would be there in total?
We are managing close to 300 employees.
300 plus employees.
300 employees, yes.
Okay. So all these people are staying in your own properties?
Yes.
No, I'm just trying to see if I can bring somebody to Alamir Properties as well, because we are always open to giving you good discounts, and then
No,
maybe
no,
we can
we always
work
share
with you.
good
Yeah,
relations
yeah.
with
No, no,
Alamir.
we always share referrals to each other, so
Yes.
that's fine. So when you pick people, for example, it's a large group, 300 is a large number, so when you pick your key people, what are the qualities that you look for? Like for young entrepreneurs or young professionals, this is for you guys. I'm asking this question on your behalf. What are the qualities they should have apart from, let's say, a qualification? What are the qualities that you look for as a big corporate to hire?
See, thing is, technical skills can be taught at work. You have a good manager. The manager can train you technically operational wise, and things like that. One of the two things which I look at is obviously communication skills. I mean, that is very important. Whether it's communicating with your colleagues, communicating with your customers. So that's one thing which we've ensured that people who we take should have good communication skills, and also more than looking at a person at technically, uh, you know we look at how he is a person. If it's a sometimes you get a feeling that the person might be conflicting in nature. That's a red flag for us. I mean, because if it's conflicting in nature, then obviously, there might be issues later on. So those kind of things where, like, the character of the person is, you cannot assess a character of a person in 15, 20 minutes. Obviously, in an interview, you cannot assess. But at the most, they can try and see if that person will gel into the company culture, because different companies have different culture. There might be a conflicting personality might work in a different kind of culture. We have, if you have read the stories of Steve Jobs, Apple, they had a culture like that. Like, that's how they build that kind of company. But we have different culture. So, we ensure that the people who we interview, we kind of try to understand from that 15, 20 minutes of conversation whether this person will gel into the company culture, more than technical things. Technical, to be honest, even recently we were hiring people. I told our CFO that, like, leave the technical things apart. Let's see if the person has good communication skill, the person is ready to work in terms of dedication, he's hardworking, he's ready to put extra hours. Because there are people who might say, 8 to 5, fine, 5 cut off, nothing more, not even 1 minute more. Because sometimes people have to be flexible, people who take up the organization as their own. And those kind of employees are the ones who kind of, like, grow as well with the with the company. So those are the kind of things, which subtle things which we try to see in the staff when we're hiring.
Okay, okay. That's good to know. Okay, so let's talk about BNI for some time. Like, BNI as an organization, when did you join BNI, or when did you first hear about BNI?
So I heard about BNI from Babuka, from Karankior Babuka. So he is the one who first actually invited me into his office back in, I don't know, 2013 or 14 was it? Can't remember. So he invited me into his office along with a few others. Tajuka was there. There was Kumar was there from Epic. So and Nasirka was there from Coimbatore.
Ah,
Nasir Bhai. So he was.
I think he's still
He's still
ED, right? I mean,
he's still
yeah,
the director
yeah,
of
yeah.
BNI in
Right,
Coimbatore.
right,
Yeah.
right. Yes, okay.
So he was the one who planted the idea that we should start a chapter in Qatar, and if people, Babuka thought would be interested. He called them for a small closed room meeting, and after that, I was definitely interested in the concept from the word go. And he said, like, let's go to Dubai and see a meeting. So we went to World Trade Center. We stayed near World Trade Center, and me, Yarmo, if you remember, the old member of Pioneers, and Tajuka and Babuka and Kumar, we all went to the World Trade Insomniacs chapter,
Okay.
BNI Insomniacs. So
Yeah.
we went there. Amazing. I mean, that chapter is probably still one of the best chapters in UAE. 70 plus members they have, crazy kind of energy, and mind blown. I mean, from that day, mind blown. But then I got my kind of disappointing news in the same morning. Babuga called me to a corner and said, like, see, BNI, there's a problem. You cannot have two categories,
Yeah,
conflicting
no
categories,
two competing
no competing
categories. Yeah.
businesses.
Yeah,
And
okay.
then obviously Kumar was a BNI member in Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
And that's when he came to in Doha, he was looking around for BNI. So obviously he came first. So I said, like, obviously Kumar came first. I will back out. So let him. He gave me the option of rent a car. I'm sorry, real estate. But I said, Babuka, I won't be doing justice, because end of the day, within me, inside me, I'll be competing for rent-a-car business. So having a same person in the room who is doing rent-a-car, while I'm trying to represent something which is not my core business,
Yeah.
will not do justice.
Yes,
So I said,
yes. Okay.
I will back out. Let's wait for second chapter. So I came for the initial kind of launch phase over here, and I was there for the Pioneers launch as well. But I stayed out waiting for the second chapter to launch. We tried during that phase to launch second chapter, but obviously right now Pioneers, because Pioneers was model, so we didn't have a model show while we were launching second chapter. So
Yeah,
it was very difficult to get second chapter uh, members. So, but Shabib was supposed to be part of second chapter, and he indirectly was, for the present director Shabib. So he was indirectly invited by me, not directly, but indirectly, because
Okay.
I invited Shaheen
Okay.
from Al Shakab,
Yeah,
and Shaheen invited Shabib,
Okay.
and we all had a meeting at Babuka's house. But the second chapter didn't actually launch because we didn't have enough members. But then, after 1 year, I was part of the high rises chapter.
Okay.
But that chapter failed after 1 year because it was, the mix of members probably, and the energy was not right. But then I was part of Phoenix for 5 to 6 years. Phoenix was a great chapter. And then after that, I joined the chapter which was supposed to be part of
Yes,
my
you
first
came
chapter.
home. You came back
Yeah,
home.
I came into the Pioneers chapter.
Yes, yes, and we are very happy to have you with Pioneers. So we
Okay,
can
that's
do a
that
lot
way.
of great
That's
things. Still, we can do a lot of great things. We are already doing for the past couple of years. We can do more. So can you tell us how BNI have actually impacted your personal or business life? Like, have you taken anything from BNI into your business? Like, I know Vasil of Visa Guy. He have taken a lot of things into BNI. Hamza Safar of AAA. He have taken a lot of BNI things to his business. So have you done something similar?
I don't think I have taken BNI. Let's see, BNI teaches a lot of good stuff in terms of the culture, the traditions, the values. But I've not taken. I don't think I've taken consciously anything into the business. But BNI is obviously is a great platform. I mean, it's helped me immensely in terms of building a great network of people who I can rely on for anything under the roof. Because even it's not just people within Doha. People within Doha, we know the 150, 170 members, we know them. We can connect with them for our requirements. But even back home in India, I have a project going in my hometown. I was looking for a fire contractor, specific type of tanks, and my contractor is struggling. So I went into BNI Connect. I searched fire tank suppliers in Kerala, and then I got a list of people. I gave it to my contractor, and then that guy supplied the tanks for me. Similarly, I was looking for content writers for my
Social media.
social media.
Yeah.
And again, I same thing. Went into BNI Connect. I found someone, and that is person is doing my content writing. So it's been amazing in terms of like sourcing, anything which you need within your company.
Yeah.
Also, knowledge which is there within the BNI group. That's also amazing because it opens up a lot of ideas into. Maybe that way it helps. Like, because like Hamza, how he did this AI session recently,
Yeah.
it opened up our eyes to like things which he can do from an AI perspective for your businesses. And from my perspective, like always I always enjoy giving more than always. We all want to get business or a BNI, which is everyone is having the bad mindset, but always we enjoy the process of giving as well, and that givers gain actually gives you a bit of high. So last now what 10 years of being in BNI on and off, I've been able to give close to 40 plus million reals of business.
Yeah.
So whereas probably I got probably half of that. So the 2:1 ratio is been going on for a long period of time. Like so that is something which I've enjoyed within the BNI community.
So you mean to say 6 years with like 5 years with Phoenix, 2 years with the Pioneers, and then you have given close to 40 million plus
Yeah,
in business to your fellow members, and you've got around 20 million plus in business.
business.
That's amazing. That's
And BNI, when we had to build our garage.
you mean you built your garage?
Yeah, when we
It's
build our
not
garage.
like you rented
No,
a
no,
or
because we got a land from Manatech, and it was one of the first projects to come in that Logistic Park A. I mean, when we went to Logistic Park A in Barkat Lavamir, it was full barren. There was only barren. I mean, only barren land, no roads, nothing was there. And one of the first projects to get permission to build, and that happened to a BNI member, Arvind, who was architect. Was a BNI member.
Okay.
The contractor was Meridian Construction, Thomas sir, was BNI member. MEP Ramshid, BNI. Fire was also BNI. Epoxy was BNI. AC, BNI. Everything, end to end. Even our office fit outs, furniture, all the things. Again, the signage was BNI. Everything was BNI.
A true BNI collective.
100% BNI project it was.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is what the BNI does, So it's not just uh, giving you quality referrals. You also get good suppliers, trusted suppliers who you can bank on,
Exactly.
So
Trust is the key word because you've seen them for the last 2 years, 3 years, or 5 years. So you know you have seen their work. So you know this person is trustworthy. This person won't leave you midway. We have seen projects
yeah,
within our business circle, with our family circle, where they're struggling midway. The contractors are left, or they have issues with the contractors, or they have issues with the projects. And then this is where the BNI helps as well to get that trusted network
yeah,
of people.
Yes.